introducing their opponents, Team New Brunswick. At this time, we ask the captains of each team to proceed to center field for the opening coin toss.
Welcome guys, last day of 2024 Canada Cup. Manitoba, you'll be acting as visiting team today. So here we go again. Heads and tails. What's the call?
Tails.
Tails the call. That's head. You want to choose now or defer?
I would like to defer.
You guys will defer. What you guys want to do? Want to receive? Which side you want to stand? Just be in this side?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. No problem. Manitoba will receive. All right, guys, so we'll go to the sideline for the national anthem, and we're kicking off in about 4 minutes.
Officials for today's game, head referee Hugo Delaire, umpire Terry Blundell, ground judge Jim Shepard, line judge Jake Anderson, side judge David Minower, back judge Joe Schroeder, and field judge Jason Kirk. This game is for 5th place. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we now ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your headwear if possible for the playing of our Canadian national anthem.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our second game here at the final day of the 2024 Football Canada Cup. My name is Chris Hattisbeck. I am joined by my good friend Olivier Eddy as we get set to kick off this 6th place final game between Team Manitoba and Team New Brunswick.
1, 2, 3, 4, let's go.
As I slowly put my mic on, trying to enjoy this Slurpee. The joke all week has been as our voice has been holding up, but I'll tell you, Chris, as of last night, mine has not. So it's Fisherman's Friends, Slurpees, water, whatever works.
Whatever, just got to get through the day. That's right.
But
my voice is doing okay. Maybe I'm not using it enough. I don't know.
But it has been fun. Voice or no voice, having a blast. This is good. Let's talk. Let's get right into it, Chris. Couple of things. New Brunswick down one linebacker and one DB, not dressed today. And then Jack Button, linebacker DB, interesting enough. He's not playing the first half. He's got to serve his suspension. He was ejected from or disqualified from the last game. So they're starting the first half, Chris, down 1.5 linebackers and 1.5 DBs. Other than that, a fairly healthy team.
Yeah, that definitely could be a factor on defense for New Brunswick as they are set to kick this one away. Santiago Vincent kicks it to number 89, gets a good return there all the way up to the 40-yard line as Mikun Odanuga with the return.
On Manitoba's side, Chris, 5 players not dressed, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 O-lineman. Jackson Dykov as well, who plays multiple positions. He's out. And then 2 players questionable. So I haven't had my eyes on these 2 players yet, but they're down 5, maybe even 7 players for today's game. So tough on the Manitoba squad.
Yeah, 3-game tournament in a matter of 7 days. It's very easy to lose a few players to injury. These athletes are extremely tough battling this one out. As Team Manitoba will start this drive, ball on the 37-yard line. Their quarterback all tournament, Rogan Vergata, is in here. Quick throw to the left. That one falls incomplete.
If you're tuning in online, we won't have the chat today, but I'll tell you what we have. We have live stats. So regenarams.com/stats.
We do have stats.
Already nearly 400 people tuning in for the game. Good to have you guys with us.
There's enough people that in New Brunswick that could message you. Then be a secret chat maybe.
Yes, the secret chat is on, so if you got some complaints, please send it directly to me.
2nd and 10 here for Vergata. He's going to take a little semi-roll, throws left once again through the receiver's hands, thrown behind him. That is going to bring up a punting situation on Manitoba's first drive.
Quick 2 and out. New Brunswick defense will be happy with that. We mentioned they're down a linebacker and a DB. And a linebacker DB for the first half. But tell you what, New Brunswick's defense, bright spot in this tournament. Game 1 against a extremely high-quality opponent. They held it to 7-0 in the first half. Game 2, fantastic win against Team BC. Team BC was bigger physically, but New Brunswick just kind of played tough. They played fast, and now they're in a chance to finish 5th.
Ben LaRose short, set to punt this one away. And that's going to be caught at the 50-yard line, so a good field position here for New Brunswick to start their first drive.
And you know me, how I feel about catching the ball in the air as a punt returner. I think it's super important, and they did a great job doing such. That was number 3. It's Mateo Embo.
Yeah, good job catching that one in the air. Gets it across midfield, so they're going to start on the Manitoba side of half to start their first offensive drive.
Chris, finishing 5th in a tournament like this one, whether it's Manitoba or New Brunswick, it's a great result. I think for these provinces, I don't know that it's fair to assume that beating a Quebec or an Ontario in game 1 is in the cards. I think that's very, very difficult to do. Finishing 5th is essentially, in my opinion, and people can scrutinize what I say if they wish, but finishing 5th to me is a gold medal for these teams. I think if you're in Nova Scotia, Manitoba, and New Brunswick, finishing 5th is a fantastic result. New Brunswick came in this tournament ranked 5th. It's their best standing ever. They have a chance to secure that again today with a win. I think they got to feel good about the tournament they've had.
Yeah, you won't hear me disagree with you there. They obviously have made some great strides in these provinces in their football programs, as New Brunswick is going to be stopped here on 2nd down and likely have to punt this one away. But, we've talked about the growth of tackle football across the country. Obviously, flag football is blowing up right now, but tackle football gaining members across the country, which is awesome to see.
No, 100%. And Manitoba, they came in this tournament ranked 8th. The worst they can finish now is 6th, so it's a positive result for Manitoba. We saw the Gatorade shower for the head coach last game. They're proud of their win against Nova Scotia. So both of these teams can walk away in this tournament feeling good. New Brunswick obviously wanting to save that 5th place. If they don't get it, they'll be disappointed. But yeah, should be a good battle today.
Noah Crowley, running back and punter there, has trouble with the snap, but gets it away, and that's going to go out of bounds all the way up before the 30-yard line.
Crowley just doing his best he can with that snap and gets rid of it. It's not blocked, so he'll be happy with that, but Manitoba gets good field position. They're going to take over on their 35. Manitoba, Chris, it needs to be mentioned, unprompted email that I've received by the U18.
Secret chat.
The secret chat. The U18 GM, Jeffrey Bannon, you know what he said? it's essentially this. I'm going to try to summarize it, but essentially it's thank you to Football Saskatchewan host committee for taking care of us. An exceptional hosting job. Thankful, and he went, the bus driver, the venue operators, the volunteers, the media, saying they've been exceptional all tournament long. Clearly a lot of pride, and Jeff Bannon just kind of telling everybody, the staff at University of Regina said the culinary team was phenomenal. The food was exceptional. Just receiving an email like that, I think is so cool. Kind of just, and unprompted, right? Like you just reached out, and no, I think it's wonderful, and happy to say these things online because it has been a great tournament.
It has, and we appreciate Jeffrey reaching out. You've been doing your best to scrounge up as much information as you can, and like you said, unprompted, sent us that, talked a lot about how the tournament's gone, which we really appreciate.
And I guess I can't skip this one either, but he's also thanking his coaches, undying support, time, dedication, countless hours devoted to practice planning, all that stuff, and so anyways, I just want to make sure I got that in the broadcast early. Can't miss that.
So during that, we've seen Manitoba complete a short pass and then get a procedure call here. So it is now 2nd and 12 on their second offensive drive of the day. Vergata in at quarterback. He's going to take it. He's going to look to throw. He's going to try and set up the screen pass. That's going to be complete, but converged right away. And they do bring him down there. I thought he almost broke that tackle. That was number 24, Brian Lee. But the number 13 for New Brunswick, Aaron Alder, bringing him down.
The DB from Tantramar Regional High. You're gonna see those red helmets and these players from Tantramar quite often. That's led from the leadership of Scott O'Neill. Who's done an incredible job with that program. I don't know how many years O'Neill has been at the helm of that program, but he's spent, from my knowledge, at least 10 on that program. Just did an outstanding job with these young men and building a powerhouse in Sackville, New Brunswick.
So Ben LaRose short is going to punt this one away. It's going to be a high short kick. Embo's going to catch that right in midfield. Has trouble with it, though. Goes down. He doesn't have it yet. We'll see if he ended up with it. I believe he did. And the officials will give that to Embo there on the ball snap right at midfield.
A little scary for Mateo Embo, but at the end gets the recovery. New Brunswick takes over to the 55-yard line. They'll be okay with his field position. 8:37 to go in this first quarter. So far, exchanges and possessions. No big plays yet.
No big plays yet. It is the tall 6'5" quarterback Hazen Rossiter for New Brunswick starting this game. Procedure, there's the late whistle there, and I'm going to call that a procedure call against the right guard.
Yeah, that's it's going to be number 50 out of Chris Pamsis with caught on the procedure call here, 1st and 15. Two quarterbacks been used for Team New Brunswick. You saw more Rossiter. We let him cook last game against BC. I know he was a fan favorite in the chat. Everybody said, let him cook, let him cook. He's played well. I thought both quarterbacks kind of brought different things to the game for New Brunswick. Both played quite well.
Both have. We've seen Rossiter take the majority of the snaps in the last game. As he starts this one here, he turns, hands it off to Noah Crowley. Some room on the right side. Gets back that procedure call and a couple extra yards. Going to bring up 2nd and manageable.
Also spoke to the famous John Wilkinson, Wilkie as they call him back home, before the game. I said, hey, John, how's the team looking? I didn't walk down on field level. I didn't want to go bug the coaches as they were getting ready, and we know how intense the coaching staff, Football New Brunswick, Zach Colangelo doing a great job. I said, John, how's it going for the team? How do they feel? And basically told me very even keel. They're not high, they're not low. They're just kind of dialed in and ready to go.
So 2nd and 8 here, and Rossiter's going to take a deep shot into double coverage, but a receiver comes down with it, number 11, Leo Foster, with a 53-yard touchdown for New Brunswick.
That's a real highlight for the receiver at Bernice McNaught. He had two DBs on him, but he goes up with the grab and gives New Brunswick the early 6-0 lead.
There's that dialed in you were just talking about.
Not too high, not too low.
Good job by Foster there. Double coverage, goes up, gets it, breaks the tackle, runs in for the 53-yard score, and New Brunswick has to feel good about that early lead they're going to take.
If you're following on in the chats, Noah Crowley has a quarterback rating of 496. I think we got a mistake on who's throwing the ball here, but Rossiter is 2 for 2, not Noah Crowley. He's 55 yards so far today and a touchdown. What a start for the young QB.
And that extra point attempt is blocked, so no good. That will give New Brunswick a 6-0 lead over Manitoba here. 7.5 minutes left still in the first quarter.
We quickly talked about, not being too high, not being too low, which Wilkie told us. And that part of the game, the psychological factor part of the game, not easy to handle at any point, but especially at the U18 level. These players are learning the game. It feels intense for them. They're representing their province on a national chain. We talked about this being almost a gold medal game for these provinces to finish 5th. So there's high stakes. So I kind of like hearing that the team is able to manage their emotion and show up in a controlled manner. We talked about controlled aggression all the time in football, right? There's a fine line.
We do, like you said, controlled aggression. We've seen New Brunswick have a very strong tournament so far, as you mentioned, coming into the tournament ranked 5th, battling to maintain that ranking here. Again, their highest ranking at this Football Canada Cup. And again, we just talked about the intensity here from these provinces growing this game, and they're doing a great job as New Brunswick takes the early lead. It's going to be returned there by Manitoba, caught on the 15-yard line. He has some room that time, breaks one tackle, and finally brought down around the 35-yard line.
Talked about New Brunswick's stellar tournament. Their only loss comes to a Team Alberta, a very strong Team Alberta, who came inches away from, they lost by 1 to Quebec, so they won't be in the gold medal game. They'll play for bronze, but quite the tournament from New Brunswick so far.
Handoff to number 34, Onan first. Small gain on the play, bring up second down. John O'Neill in on the tackle.
And for me, New Brunswick, the bright spot's been the defense. Just playing so well. It's been nice to see this rocket start for them on offense. 66 yards today in 4 plays. So yeah, New Brunswick, offensively at times struggled a bit, especially against teams like Alberta. BC also gave them a bit of trouble, but it's not an easy schedule for them.
No, it's not. They're doing a great job here as Vergata is going to take a deep shot, well covered, but the receiver comes down with it. A good job of going up and getting that.
Now it's going to be push off on the offense here, Chris. This play's coming back. It's a rare penalty on the offense, but offensive pass interference here. I think we got push off. Zach Colangelo and the Team New Brunswick staff feeling confident where it's going to go. Colangelo's going to pick up the flag and give it back to the official. A big smile on his face as his team escapes a scare there. It's going to be second and very long instead of a big-time first down.
Yeah, as the ball was in the air, I thought that coverage was pretty good by number 10, Nathaniel Kinney, and it was very good. Obviously, receiver had to push off to get some separation there. Good call by the official, and that's going to push Manitoba back.
I coach receivers, Chris. Sometimes I teach to push off. One thing you want to do when you're trying to get separation is to keep your arms low, right? So you want to push off maybe around the waist area. You never want to extend the arm fully. On that play, unfortunately, you kind of had a two-hand push on the back plate. It was an easy call for the officials. And to be clear on the broadcast, no, I never teach that
Cheaters.
to receivers.
Offense, always cheating.
As Chris looks at me, Chris coaches on the defense on a team that I coach the offense, so we go at it at practice all the time.
So 2nd and 23, Vergata is going to throw that over the middle, finds a receiver open, and he's going to get real close to a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Oh, I love that for Manitoba, right? You just got a play called back against you. You're like, oh, no, not 2nd and 20. But they get 19 yards on that play, and now they get to go for it.
Yeah, Ben LaRose short on the reception there, receiver and punter. Eventually brought down by number 6, Sam Dunn. But 3rd and 1 now, 44-yard line. Vergata is going to line up under the center. He'll take it. He'll turn, hand it off inside that time. Right away, we'll see where they mark it. This might be a chains situation.
The official is initially pointing first down. That's going to be spotted right on the white line, Chris. From our point of view, it's going to be inches away from the first down.
6'5" D lineman, number 92, Will Warman, in on that play.
Well, Manitoba will not be happy with this spot. I think it's going to be a turnover on down, Chris.
There's an injured New Brunswick player right by that, so we'll see if they're able to. I think they're going to have to wait to bring the sticks out. You're right. From up here, it does look like it's going to be short. As we see the New Brunswick defensive linemen walk off with the training staff for New Brunswick as they now bring out the sticks. And as you mentioned, Olivier, they are short. So New Brunswick forces a turnover on third down. They give up a big play on second and long, but then make the stop on third.
Well, it helps, Chris, that I got the binoculars up here, and we're about almost a perfect angle to see this one. That was 98, Pascal Robichaud from École Mathieu Martin, who is coming off the field. He looks to be okay. He's just sitting on the bench there with the trainer real quick. That's Jillian Gilmore taking a look at Robichaud.
Jillian Gilmore, a great golfer. As we know what firsthand, our friend Jillian from New Brunswick. It will be Rossiter looking to the sideline here in this no-huddle offense for New Brunswick. He's directing traffic now. Rossiter takes the snap, hands it off to Crowley, that time off the left side. Stutter steps, cuts back in. Good gain on first down. Finally brought down around the 40-yard line.
Manitoba doing a good job with their scouting because after the play call was in, they all started screaming. They knew what that signal was. They all thought that was a counter coming up.
So maybe something that we have to keep an eye on if New Brunswick or Manitoba defense has figured out the signals here in this tournament. We'll see if they look to change it or not.
This is one thing when you're a no-huddle offense you can take advantage of as well, right? The moment that they start going all in on a play because they think they know what it is, you can play action from those plays.
So 2nd and 5, Rossiter looks to throw, looking over the seam. He's going to throw the flag route there to his receiver, and that one's going to fall incomplete. They're going to call a pass interference.
Yeah, it's earlier in the route, Chris. Number 5, the DB from Manitoba, that's Iman Katu at Oak Park. He was in a good position, but he was tugging on the jersey. And then later in the route, kind of let him go. And I think the officials were waiting to see, is he going to catch the ball? If so, I might not call this. But the pass interference happened much earlier than maybe the flag was thrown, at least from my point of view.
Pass intended for number 84, Jaden Lavoie from Harborview High in St. John. So give New Brunswick a first down.
A little double out concept there and a bit of motion and a 5-yard out and about a 12, 13-yard out in the deeper one. And New Brunswick gets first down off of that penalty.
Evan Stockman now in the game at quarterback for New Brunswick, switching quarterbacks mid-drive. As they run the freeze here. Trying to see what Manitoba defense is running. Stockman's going to take that. He'll read. He'll keep it himself that time. He's going to follow his lead blocker. A good job by the Manitoba D lineman to get off the block and make the play. That's number 55, Carter Kalissis.
And again, 3 quarterbacks for Team New Brunswick. We saw Oliver Hicks a bit more in the first game. We saw Rossiter more in the second game. And now we're seeing Stockman here early in this first quarter.
So 2nd and 10 now coming up. Stockman still in the game at quarterback. Beckley, the running back, in the backfield with him as Crowley motions in and then comes back. And there is the handoff to Crowley on kind of the delayed sweep motion, but Manitoba defense not fooled there, forcing a third down.
Okay, 3rd and long from the 24-yard line. If they decide to kick a field goal here, it'd be a 31-yard field goal. We'll see if that's what Team New Brunswick elects to do. Special teams coordinator Dwight Anderson doing a good job this tournament. We talked about defense a lot. That's led by Jordan Grant. It looks like they will go for it here on offense.
Yeah, as they send in the 6'5" quarterback, Hazen Rossiter, now for this 3rd and 8. Aggressive decision here by head coach Zach Colangelo.
Manitoba has 13 players on the field. They end up calling a timeout wisely.
Yeah, recognize that.
So as the substitution was happening, Manitoba was yelling field goal, field goal, field goal. Their free safety or their field goal returner is standing 15 yards deep in the end zone, and they had 12 players by the line of scrimmage, so lots of confusion on Manitoba's side. It's a wise timeout to take.
Yep, good use of their timeout. They get 2 a half. You may as well use it there. Make sure that you don't give up a free first down here, as they'll regroup and talk about this third down coming up. Olivier, we hear the horns out there, a decent crowd here for Game 2. Obviously, Manitoba a lot closer than New Brunswick, although the New Brunswick fans have traveled very well. So 3rd and 8, roster in the gun here. He'll take the snap, look to throw. Slips on the play. Flag thrown by both sideline officials. Fumbles the ball. We'll wait and see what the call is.
Great job of the Manitoba D lineman going for the strip. Looks like New Brunswick recovered it, but they are flags on the play nonetheless.
Connor Brindley, the defensive lineman, with the strip sack there.
It was 3rd and 8, so sounds like.
Looks like an offside Manitoba.
So we'll look at 3rd and 3 instead. Are we kicking a field goal now?
It's going to make it 3rd and 3. I saw New Brunswick sub on a few players. It looks like they are still going to go for it here.
It is indeed offense, and number 4 goes back in the game.
Yes, Evan Stockman. That's right, back in the game.
The quarterback from Harrison Trimble High School.
Stockman and Beckley in the backfield. He'll turn. He'll keep it to the sun. Look to throw, and he's going to miss his receiver on the play, and that's going to be a turnover for the Manitoba defense.
All right, Manitoba's happy to escape without giving any points there. They're going to have their chance as Vergata trots back into the field. Ben LaRose Short, one of his favorite targets. We've liked saying his name quite a bit since we've known him from the U16 tournaments last year. He has one of the leaders in that younger provincial team.
That's right, yeah, a very talented player, receiver, punter. He made a big catch on 2nd and long earlier in the game. Manitoba ended up turning it over on downs on that drive as they now start on the 20-yard line. Vergata in the gun. He'll take high snap, managed to get it. We're going to roll out to his right. He's just going to keep it himself. He's actually going to throw it, has a receiver, but throws it out of bounds. I thought he might just run and get some yards there.
He was looking for Odunuga. I can't pronounce it. Chris, go ahead.
I've been saying Odunuga, but I might be wrong.
Thank you so much. Out of Winnipeg, he was looking for him on the sideline, but that falls incomplete. Shout out to Shaded Magnus for bringing us some Slurpees.
That's right. Second time this tournament. Appreciate it,
If you hear me gulping down on the mic, I apologize. Trying to keep my voice. New Brunswick showing heavy blitz.
And they do end up bringing one there. Vergata gets the ball complete there on the left side, but short. New Brunswick does a good job making the tackle, and that's going to force the punt team on. Tackle by number 13, Aaron Alder.
They find Trotsky open there in the flats for his first reception of the day, but it won't be enough for first down. 3rd and 4.5. Almost likely going to see a punt here. Although, Chris, we talked about it. It's the last day of the tournament. If you have some trick plays, some special stuff, some fakes, it's time to use it.
Yeah, Manitoba, I believe, is the only team that has ran a fake punt in this tournament at Libel Field on Wednesday. So we know that they've talked about it. They have installed them. So we'll see if we see another one here at some point during this game. There's nothing to lose. You may as well try one as the refs blow this dead.
And New Brunswick having a defensive scheme on punt return right now. One return in the back, but they're essentially playing a 4-3 defense to make sure, right, to be, hey, we want to be in a position so we can stop any fake.
The officials give the patented warning to the snappers about moving the ball forward.
Happens once a game, always in the first quarter.
As you mentioned, shout out to Shade Magnus, a talented female football player from Tisdale, former U18 athlete playing for Team Saskatchewan. You'll be heading to New Brunswick here tomorrow to get ready for the tournament there.
with a quick stop in Winnipeg first, actually, is where our team's going to have their training camp.
There you go. Ben LaRoche short, punts that one away, caught at the 52-yard line by Embo. Does a good job to catch that in the air, get a few yards, and that's where New Brunswick will take over.
How about Thierry Moreau, the defensive line, 6'5", 240 from Elmwood, with the special teams tackle on that punt. New Brunswick again starting with great field position. They are so far in control of this game.
It is Roster and Crowley in the backfield here for New Brunswick. Crowley steps up, freeze there. They'll read the defense as Manitoba goes offside. And I don't know if the defensive player is trying to sell a procedure there, but he just stood and looked confused for a second there as you shake your head over here.
Well, I understand why an offensive lineman would touch a D lineman, right, to make sure the penalty is called. But for a D lineman to make an extra effort to touch the O-line, that's going to be a penalty on you every time.
I think he's saying that the New Brunswick O-lineman was down, set, got up to look for the play, and tried to sell that as a procedure.
Oh, that did not work in his favor. It'll be 1st and 5, Team New Brunswick.
To the refs' credit, they gave him a chance to get back for about 3 seconds. He stood there and waited, so they had to throw the flag. So 1st and 5, ball on the 39-yard line, right hash, Roster and Crowley in the backfield. Crowley steps up. Again, there's that fake as they look to the sideline for the play call, change their formation. H-back comes back across. Roster takes a snap, hands it off to Crowley. H-back comes back, making the block. Short gain on the play. Only a late shove there by a Manitoba defender. No call as he gets a warning by the official.
They're setting up with my favorite play calls in football. They're running a bit of a zone kick-out look, and at some point that H-back is going to purposely miss his kick-out. He's going to run into the flats and be open for a completion. I'll let you know when that happens because I'll be looking for it.
You can say I called it at some point.
I called it at some point. Yeah.
2nd and 4, ball on the 38 now. Minute left here in the first quarter. Rossiter takes a snap, turns, hands it off to Crowley. That time breaks a tackle, and he's going to get a first down and more. Keeps his feet moving, drags the defender all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Back-to-back inside zones of that kick out. This time the H-back kind of washes or seals the DN in, and Crumley reads that, goes outside. Whether that's design or not, either way, it's a great run. New Brunswick now running for about 5 yards a carry as they hurry up as always.
They'll pause and look to the sideline, call out the blitz here. Manitoba showing a MAC blitz on the play as they adjust their defense now. The MAC does end up coming, hands it off to Crowley, but a good job by the D lineman to get off his block and make a play in the backfield. That's number 55, Carter Cassis.
Essentially the same play call 3 times in a row. So here comes now what I've been calling. That zone kick out. It's going to come out. It's going to be a play action. They're going to throw it to the flats. This is the OE guarantee of the tournament.
Tony Romo here, calling it.
It is, however, 2nd and 8. I was more hoping for a 2nd and 4 situation, but let's see if it happens. My phone needs to be buzzing if this is a play action dump off to number 86 on the flats.
Rossiter in the gun, and early movement there, and that's going to push New Brunswick back and make it 2nd and 13.
Well, I was wrong either way, so I'm happy the play didn't go on, but this is not about me. It's about the kids on the field here. So 2nd and 13 as I stop guessing plays.
You know what? It's okay to guess once in a while.
It was my first guarantee of the tournament, and it was wrong. But it didn't happen. There's no play there,
That's right.
Speaking.
That's right.
Still
Didn't
0
count
for
on the
0.
stats. That's right.
It's like a coach wanting to coach his challenge, but it goes automatically into review. If they're wrong, they don't lose their challenge. So I'll keep mine for later.
So that does push the ball back to the 28-yard line now. Last play of the first quarter. Rossiter takes the snap, looks to throw. Screen pass there to his running back, Crowley. High throw, though, as Crowley has to go up and get it. Slow down, track down from behind as the Manitoba defense forces a field goal situation.
Yeah, and anytime you see a screen track down from behind, it means the defensive line were able to recognize it, plant their feet, and run back towards the ball carrier. It's a good job at the Manitoba D-line.
Yeah, that's number 99, Connor Brindley, having a great tournament. We've said his name many times.
Now, New Brunswick, they don't kick a lot of field goals. They like to go for it in these situations. They believe in taking their chances there, that it's worth it to go and get 7 instead of 3. So I wouldn't be surprised, even though it's 3rd and 8, to see New Brunswick go for it here.
So, Olivier, New Brunswick leading Manitoba 6-0 here after the first quarter. It's been a good football game so far, as it is chicken day once again.
4 for 5 passing for New Brunswick, 60 yards, 7 carries for 31. This is the best they've looked on offense so far in this tournament.
Definitely. They've been able to be consistent in the air and on the ground, as we saw them score a long touchdown reception earlier. Crowley also dangerous on the ground as well. You mentioned New Brunswick is very calm, cool, and collected, and they're showing it so far in the first quarter.
As I'm wrong for the second time in this drive, seeing the field goal unit come out, I called that the offense would likely stay, but New Brunswick looking to take a 9-point lead, or maybe, because we talked about it, maybe it's time for fakes.
Santiago Vincent setting up for a 32-yard field goal attempt.
The defensive back from Harrison Trimble High School being called on to do the place kicking. There is no dedicated kicker punter on this roster, meaning that being listed as defensive back makes sense.
Odanuga set back there to return if he does miss it. Snap is good. Ball is up. And that kick is good. And that will increase New Brunswick's lead to a score of 9-0 over Manitoba.
Great kick right down the middle. New Brunswick seems to be very pleased with that one. It is 9-0 early in the second quarter.
2-score lead now. Beautiful day here in Regina. Much, much cooler than it was on Wednesday here when we were at Libel. I think on Wednesday it was 40 degrees on the turf, and high, I think, of about 26 here in Regina today. Nice day.
Yeah, weather really not affecting the play at all. As we see Pascal Richaud run back on the field. It was the injured D lineman. Looks like he's okay. Always good news.
And there's the offensive warning to the centers now about moving the ball.
Well, that must be enough warnings now. The next time there's a penalty.
Well, it was the long snapper last time, so now it's the center. So Vergata in the gun, turns, hands it off to number 24 on the left side. Brought down right away, though, by that New Brunswick defensive line.
That's number 90, Titus Hicks, D lineman from Tantramar Regional High. A couple of Hicks on this roster.
Related? Did we figure that out? You said
not related, but a big football name in the Sackville, Tantramar region.
Maybe a shout out to Emma Hicks if she's listening, former player of ours from
also
New Brunswick.
A Football New Brunswick employee for a couple of years.
That's right.
High-performance coach in the St. John region.
So 2nd and 9 now for Vergata and this Manitoba offense. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. He has time to get it down there, and that thrown behind his intended receiver. Tried to rush the throw a little bit, and that forces a punting situation.
Well, Chris, if you're Jordan Grant leading the defense here for Team New Brunswick, it is 4 consecutive 2-and-outs to start the game. New Brunswick has to feel very good about their defense. They haven't allowed a first down yet.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned missing one of their starting linebackers as well. One of their DBs out on the first half, serving a suspension from the previous game. He'll be back in the second half. But so far, this New Brunswick defense not showing any signs of weakness. As Ben LaRose Short is set to punt this one away to Embo, as New Brunswick missing a player, and they send someone on late.
You never want to see substitution mistakes, but what you want to make sure is that once it happens, it does not happen again.
New Brunswick will burn a timeout there.
Now, Vergata doing a good job, 4 for 8 passing for 26. It's the run game for Manitoba that's hurting a bit. They have 3 carries today for 4 yards.
Yeah, that New Brunswick D-line, front 7, doing a good job limiting the run. You know, they have a very athletic linebacker group. They missed the first game, so they're fresh, if you want to call it that, due to an illness. So their 3 linebackers that started the second game did not play at all in the first game.
You know, Chris, I talk a lot about New Brunswick. I'm from there. I served as the executive director back in 2012. When I was there in 2012, it was our return to Canada Cup. We lost our first game, I want to say 60-0, and that was a score at half against Team Quebec. I remember that. Might get the score wrong, but in that vicinity. It's been amazing to see the progress, and I know now even the under 16 level, they're doing very well. That program is led by Coach Dre and Coach Phil Long, I think. Andre Gauguin and Phil Long are head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators at U16 program, they've been grooming athletes, and for a province that has a smaller population, they've been performing really well.
Yeah, you can definitely see the growth. Watching these games at home in the U18 tournament, they had a big win last year. We don't get the pleasure of seeing them at the Western Challenge, of course, because there is a Eastern Challenge that I believe they participate in. You would know for sure. I know they played Nova Scotia in a U16 tournament on their own. As that's New Brunswick will start here at midfield, 50-yard line. Hands off to running back, but brought down after a gain of only 1. Good job, led by number 8, Destiny Okadara.
Okadara, the great player. He's 6'4", 245 out of Dakota in Winnipeg. Great play on first down. He's forcing 2nd and 9.
I was going to guess earlier if it was Dakota Collegiate, Dakota High School, Dakota Secondary. It just says Dakota.
Just says Dakota.
Dakota Winnipeg.
Dakota is the name of the program this athlete plays on back at home. I'm going to assume it's a high school.
So 2nd and 9 now, ball on the 51-yard line. Roster looks to throw, tries to find his receiver in the flat, and that's going to be knocked down at the line of scrimmage by number 42, making a nice play.
You know, I think he likes that concept. It's a little bit of motion from the wide out, and they run a 4 or 5 yard out and a 10, 12 yard out on top of that, but this time the ball was knocked down the line of scrimmage. It's a good job of the Manitoba defense kind of answering here and keeping their team in it.
Ryan North, the 6'2" defensive lineman, with the knockdown at the line of scrimmage, forcing a punt.
New Brunswick will be hosting the U18, the female national. Is it a Canada Cup or a national tournament? Either way.
Yeah, national tournament, I believe, is what they go with. The 6-a-side tournament. Good snap that time. Crowley gets the punt away. That bounces at the 31-yard line. Picked up off the bounce by number 89 from Manitoba there. Cuts back in. Met right away, though, by number 6. That is Sam Dunn with the tackle. Flags down on the play.
Thierry Moreau, D lineman out of Elmwood. Secondary, we'll call it this time, instead of high school.
There you go.
I think getting caught here with a penalty away from the play. I saw 2 flags come out in his vicinity at the same time. Bit of a late infraction. That's going to back up Manitoba at least 10 yards.
We talked previously in the game before this about Jack Roberts going for the offensive and defensive player of the game. He did win the offensive player of the game. He did not win the defensive one, though. Samson Satcher with the
For those who are not aware, Team British Columbia lost 2 quarterbacks last game, so they had to go with their running back and their defensive back at the quarterback position. It was Jack Roberts, a defensive back, who learned the offense in 2 days. And got themselves a win against Team Manitoba, decisive win, 25-5, and he led the way as a quarterback and got the offensive player of the game. We thought it was amazing for a guy who, again, only had 2 days to learn the offense.
Yeah, absolutely, and a good ball there by Vergata to Nathan Esch, as that's going to move the chains for the Manitoba offense.
Vergata getting his team on the board from a first down point of view. They needed that. He's been throwing the ball well. Yeah. 5 of 9 today for 39 yards.
One of the few QBs in this tournament that rarely come off the field for their team.
He's the guy.
Vergata takes it, looks left, throws, and that's going to be complete to number 89. That is Odanuga with the reception and another first down.
Well, there you go. Vergata coming alive now, 6 of 10 for 53 yards at this point. Back-to-back first down for Manitoba on first down plays.
That moves the ball up to the 44-yard line. Left hash. Vergata, the 5'10" quarterback from Winnipeg, takes the snap. He's going to look to throw left, throws left, finds his receiver, goes up and gets it. Number 72, that is Nathan Ash once again with the reception.
Well, that's 3 back-to-back first down after I mentioned that Manitoba hadn't had a first down so far today. So now they're feeling that they're in the driver's seat again. They need a big drive, and here it is.
Yeah, this Manitoba offensive line doing a great job protecting Vergata, giving him time to find these receivers. They will throw again. That time the ball is snapped low. Vergata escapes pressure. He has some room on the right side. He has a receiver open. That is complete to number 86. Makes a man miss. Cuts back up. And that's another first down for Max Payne.
New Brunswick dialing up the corner blitz on that one. The rare corner blitz. Almost gets home, but Vergata escapes on the opposite side. Finds a receiver for another first down. It's 4 completions in a row. All 10-yard plus gains.
Yeah. Vergata has shown great athleticism in the backfield, avoiding potential sacks, and he throws well on the run as there is an injured New Brunswick defensive lineman right on the sideline here.
That's Pascal Robichaud again, the defensive lineman from École Mathieu Martin, taking the, I was going to say strategic knee down, but you never want to assume, but it's a good time for New Brunswick to slow down the play here as Manitoba is going very fast and with success. Vergata now 8 of 12 for 87. Obviously a great drive for him, finding his receivers. He's 4 for 56 on this drive.
I think Manitoba will probably keep this one in the air. They're having success. Obviously the big defensive lineman for New Brunswick on the sideline now.
Trips to the boundary. New Brunswick not exactly adjusting.
Vergata takes it. This time they will hand it off to number 24 on the carry. That's Brian Lee. Short gain.
Missed opportunity for Manitoba there as New Brunswick was misaligned to defend against trips in the boundary. They even had their wheel linebacker blitzing, so it was a true 3 versus 2 situation, but Manitoba had a run call there. Guess you don't know that before you get out of the huddle, do you?
No, that's right.
Unless you're New Brunswick and you run a no-huddle check-with-me offense.
So 2nd and 6 now. Ball on the 27. Vergata in the gun. Takes the snap. This time he's going to look to throw again. That time complete to the left side. That's going to move the chains once again. Number 12, Ben LaRose short.
New Brunswick's answer to this drive has been to bring pressure, but are not able to get home. There's another cover 0 look, Chris, where they brought every linebacker, and Vergata just says, thank you, I'll take my one-on-one, and another first down.
Vergata having a great drive here at quarterback position. Takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Lee that time, and met right away by that New Brunswick defensive line.
Vergata indeed 5 for 5 this drive, with 75 yards in the air and 5 first down. You're going to look to probably put this one up again on 2nd and long.
Yeah, 2nd and 8 now. Vergata still in the gun as New Brunswick sending a defensive lineman off, and they are wanting to, looks like Zach Colangelo upset with the officials here. Not sure why.
As Football Manitoba coaches to our right seems to be livid at the officials again, so I'm not sure what's happening. Slamming on the table there, standing up just a couple of windows down on my right.
Both coaching staffs upset about something there.
I guess we'll have to wait and see to find out what the story is. So one timeout used by New Brunswick, you say, Chris?
Yeah, it looks like one timeout used. Both teams have now used a timeout. We saw a late substitution there for New Brunswick. Maybe we're worried about getting a delay or having too many players on the field. Maybe that's why the Manitoba coaches were upset, wanting to snap that before he got off. But New Brunswick uses a timeout.
Maybe. We'll never truly know. As we look to be ready to get this one off.
Official gave a field goal good signal there. Wasn't sure what that was about, but he now whistles it in. So Vergata in the gun. Takes a snap. He's going to look to throw. Pressure coming from Manitoba. Great read by Vergata. Big hit by the defensive back for New Brunswick to force an incomplete. That is Logan Smith.
New Brunswick again sending a corner blitz and a Will Langenberger blitz. They just essentially said, if you're passing that well on us, we're going to come and hit you. And big incomplete here because now it's 3rd and 8. And
yeah, Logan Smith from his linebacker position making a nice play. Tantramar High School product.
Ultra aggressive play call from New Brunswick defense.
Yeah, and Manitoba's going to keep the offense on here. 3rd and 8. Ball on the 16-yard line. 3 to his right, 2 to his
Showing
left.
cover 0 once again.
Yeah, New Brunswick does bring in. Vergata takes the shot into the end zone. That's a beautiful throw, and that is a touchdown to number 72, Nathan Esch.
Yeah, and that's a great play call. When you're getting cover 0 and you get an inside shade by the DBs, go ahead and hit an out-breaking route. So they throw it up the corner of the end zone, and Manitoba is essentially saying, okay, you want to blitz me every single play, I'm just going to toss it up and go score.
Yep, great throw and catch there from Vergata to Esch. Vergata having the drive of the tournament for him so far. That was a beautiful drive by the quarterback.
It was perfect. 7 of 7 passing on that drive.
He had the one incomplete there before that on the knockdown, but still a nice throw.
7 out of 8. Thank you, Chris.
As he now lines up to kick the extra point.
So, New Brunswick, I thought was kind of in full control of this game, but that's how quickly things can change, right? You got a 90-ish yard drive by Manitoba. Now they're, after the extra point being good, they make this game 9-7.
Yeah, Vergata's extra point attempt is good. A 2-point game here. Good job by Vergata and these receivers, but also a great job by the Manitoba offensive line, giving their quarterback time to make these throws.
Oh, for sure. We got to get some love to the offensive linemen. You know, they're not the ones whose names get called out. They play offensive line. They're not going to be in the stats or in the newspaper often, but for a drive like that, with the amount of pressure New Brunswick brought, that requires good pass protection. Impressive to me is Vergata, not necessarily for putting the ball where it needs to be, but his poise, right? He's getting pressured from left, right, and middle, and he knows he's going to get hit, but he delivers catchable balls.
Yep, definitely composed there in the huddle, leading this Manitoba offense, and cuts the lead down to 2 here.
Manitoba taking a long time in that kickoff huddle.
The refs were getting on them there to get going.
Sometimes that maybe means something different. We're going to see a sky ball here or maybe a little onside kick. They're also overloading one side hard, although I see now that they just had a substitution issue, so
yeah,
it's balanced once again.
The quarterback, Vergata, the kicker here, as he is handling the kickoff duties and extra point field goal duties for Manitoba. They will kick it deep. Caught at the 24-yard line by Crowley there. Has some room, cuts in, breaks a tackle, and he's going to get the ball all the way up to the 43-yard line.
Well, very good return. They would have been just as well trying an onside kick on that one. New Brunswick happy with their special teams play all tournament long, and so far it's been good for them.
So this Hazen roster-led offense will come out here on the field.
Both offenses playing very well today. New Brunswick running the ball a little bit better, and then Manitoba, after that long drive, their statistics from a pass game point of view has been stellar.
Rossiter and Crowley in the backfield for New Brunswick. They'll take the snap. Some early movement, not called. Throws it into the flats there to Crowley. Brought down right away by the Manitoba defensive player. That is number 5, Emin Katu, with the play.
Emin Katu, defensive back from Oak Park in Winnipeg. Manitoba finding their wind.
Yeah, momentum is you can't see it on the stat sheet, but it is real, as we will know that from coaching ourselves. The fans getting loud here at Mosaic for the Manitoba defense. Rosser turns, throws it complete, not incomplete, sorry. A good job by the Manitoba defensive back on the coverage. That is Amaya's first.
First showing a little bit of swag after that good defensive play, and as you should. Not easy to break quickly on a receiver screen. You're always a bit tentative because you know screen and go also exists. But a great play by the Manitoba defensive back, and
maybe something we see a bit later, a screen and go, but well played there by the defensive player first, as forcing a punt here.
Do they get a 2-and-out?
Crowley's going to punt this one. High kick, but that's going to be heading towards the sideline as the returner steps out to get it. We'll see here. He does, and he's going to get a penalty for
illegal participation.
And potentially a no yards as well.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
I think they might call both because he stepped out on his own and was the first to touch it.
Yeah, it's a rare penalty call, but I think we're right up here in the booth, Chris. And if I do understand the rule correctly, you can't step out of bounds and be the first person to come in unless you were shoved by somebody from the other team and you made an immediate effort to come in. So, yes, indeed, penalty against Manitoba illegal participation from the punt returner. It's rarely called, but it is a correct call on this play.
Yes, absolutely. Good job by the officials on that one.
Good job for us as well, Chris. Spotting that.
Yeah, shout out us.
Yeah, shout out us. I feel good about that. When's the last time you called an illegal participation? Oh, wait, too soon.
Yeah. We don't have a chat here, so we got to do it ourselves. So Manitoba will take over. Ball 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. Vergata looks, throws right. 10 for number 72, dropped on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice coverage on the play by number 7 for New Brunswick, Raymond Lomba. So 2nd and 10 now, ball on the 23-yard line, winding down to the end of the first half. 3.5 minutes left.
New Brunswick showing pressure again.
Vergata takes the snap, looking right once again, steps up in the pocket, has a receiver deep, and just throws over the intended receiver's head. And the New Brunswick defense forces a 2-and-out.
Yeah, and they'll feel good about that because that last drive, that takes a lot out of your D when you're getting chunked, 10, 12 yards at a time all the way down in the field for a touchdown. So that 2-and-out is important for them. They get to reset, give their offense a chance with just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Both quarterbacks passing the ball very well. We see some high completion percentage. We have 15 completions today so far for about 175 yards. So teams are playing pretty well in the air.
Yeah, a very even football game here so far as Ben LaRoche Short is set to punt this one away. High kick, turns over, going to be caught at the 55-yard line by Embo there. Coverage is good though, and there's flags down, helmets off. Lots of stuff laying on the turf here.
Very good coverage by the Manitoba punt unit, number 5, number 34, both in those tackles. Amen Katu, we've said his name a few times, and Ethan Harshma out of Springfield in Oak Bank, Manitoba, also in on the tackle. As you said, Chris, couple of penalty flags, some laundry on the field.
Maybe a face mask. I'm just taking a guess with the helmet laying on the turf there after that play. Officials today are head ref Hugo Dallaire, umpire Terry Blundell, down judge Jim Shepard, line judge Jake Anderson, side judge Dakin Bador, back judge Joe Stroder, and our field judge Jason Curry.
We've talked about the officiating quite a bit. They've got officials coming from each and every province coming together for this week, so that's really, really neat. They get a chance to learn from each other, and I thought they did a great job all tournament long. Things have been going good, and I like seeing different crews, right? In different games. It's kind of neat. So penalties are going to go against New Brunswick here.
Yeah, the officials not mic'd up here at Mosaic, so we can kind of hear them through the open window 6 stories up, but it is a hold against New Brunswick that pushes them back to the 40-yard line where they'll start this drive. Roster and Beckley in the backfield.
Positioned perfectly for my favorite play here, Chris.
You're just going to speak it into existence, right?
Not happening.
Roster looks to throw. Pressure in his face. Steps up. Avoids one. Can't avoid the second, though, and that's going to be a sack on the play by number 9, Carson Thomas. Flags down.
New Brunswick going away from the run game. They ran the ball so well in this game. Crowley averaging over 5 yards a carry, but it's been last couple of drives been trying to go through the air. As we await and learn here from the officials. Good game so far, Chris. 9-7 as we get into the 3-minute warning. Offside on New Brunswick as the call is declined. Tight game. That's what we want.
Yeah, very good game, obviously. Looking forward to all of the games today. The medal game starting after this one. This one a battle to finish 5th and 6th place for next year's tournament. New Brunswick trying to maintain their 5th place ranking.
Manitoba will be climbing from 8th position. Regardless of their standing today, it'll be a move up for them.
Yeah, good job for that program.
Positive result.
So after the decline penalty, 2nd and 11 coming up.
If you missed the earlier game this morning, it was early lead for Nova Scotia, and then things kind of turned around. British Columbia found their run game and ended winning that game, finishing 7th.
Rossiter looks to the sideline, takes the snap, looks to throw. Screen pass set up for Beckley there, caught by him in the middle there, makes a cut. Nice job by that offensive line, leading the way, and that's a big first down.
They're going to get 22 yards on the screenplay. It was 2nd and 11. Very, very happy with that. If you're Team New Brunswick, you're crossing midfield now and getting yourself in position to score.
You see New Brunswick subbing on a receiver here.
Number 86, the H-back coming in.
Yes.
H-back, Chris, meaning hybrid position between tight end, fullback, receiver, running back. Usually a position designation you give to an athlete who can catch the ball and block the ball.
That's right. Jack Jewett coming into the game here, blocks on the play, goes out for the route there, but thrown to number 11, Leo Foster, and incomplete pass. Nice coverage once again by Amias first.
Well, there's New Brunswick trying to pump and go on that little receiver screen, but Manitoba's in a cover 3 look. They have a deep defender ready to stop the deep bomb. Quarterback chooses to throw it anyways to the short player, but 2nd and 10. They took their shot there, just didn't get the right play call from Manitoba. You know, when you take that shot, you're hoping man coverage. You want them to play aggressive, but Manitoba wasn't a cover 3 shell there.
So 2nd and 10 now after the incomplete pass. Ball on the 49-yard line. Rossiter takes the snap, looks to throw, looking right, steps up in the pocket, and there's nothing there. Well covered by the Manitoba defense. Brought down on the play by number 8, Destiny Okadara.
New Brunswick going with a classic smash concept, so that's like in a 3-receiver set. They're going double in from 1 and 2, and they want to hit their slot back on the deep corner, but Manitoba again kind of sitting in a zone coverage. The only available throw would have been the quick in route, like the 4-yard-ish route from the wideout, and quarterback was kind of looking deep, so nothing there for them. They'll have to punt the ball away.
2 minutes left on the clock here. Time stopped on the, time will run as he was brought down there on the play, the sack. Or the short gain, I should say, gain of only 2. Crowley will punt this one away. High, short kick. And that's going to go out of bounds around the 28-yard line. Still 1 timeout left for Manitoba on this offensive drive.
About 20 net yards in the exchange there.
Yeah.
Manitoba capable of driving this. A minute 45 to go is plenty for Vergata and the Manitoba offense to get in scoring position. With a field goal or a touchdown, they would take their first lead of the day and head to half feeling pretty good.
So Vergata will start here. Ball on the 26-yard line, 1st and 10, minute 44 left. New Brunswick showing a blitz, and there's a procedure called. Maybe a little jumpy with that blitz coming.
That was Ethan St. Pierre out of Fredericton High, 5'9" linebacker with a yellow helmet, showing blitz and
coming off the field now. He did his job.
Well, I suppose that's a good play. You show blitz and force the team to flinch. It's 1st and 15. New Brunswick substituting a lot of players in and out, keeping their players fresh and perhaps using different packages. Some teams like to sub in more DBs on passing situations and more heavy bodies and obvious run situations. New Brunswick is not shy to get players in and out.
So 1st and 15 now after the procedure call. Backs them up to the 21-yard line. Vergata motions a receiver across, takes the snap, turns, fakes. He's going to look to throw. He doesn't have anyone open, though, and just throws that out of bounds. Maybe some confusion there on the routes.
Yeah, and Titus Hicks, the D-lineman from Tantramar, 2nd time we say his name today. He had pressure on the quarterbacks. I think Vergata just safely and intelligently decides to throw this ball out to make sure he doesn't take a big loss. Last thing they want to do here is lose 10 yards and have to take a safety.
Someone I'll talk about in a sec here as it brings up 2nd and 15 now. Still a 2-point lead for New Brunswick.
Say it, Chris, say it.
It's okay, I'll wait. Unrelated.
No, I meant to say it's running back screen here.
Oh, running back screen
That's
here.
That's our rule in 2nd and 15.
Or draw. Vergata steps, looks, throw. It's not a screen or a draw. Complete to his receiver on the left side, though. Brought down right away. Short gain, forces a punt. New Brunswick does not have a timeout left, so this time will run. was going to say I got a text from a good friend, and they said, do you think Chad Kroger's going to stop by and watch some of the games? As the lead singer for Nickelback, they're performing here 40 minutes away tonight at a big country festival. I don't know. Maybe he'll come watch the Alberta game.
If he does, we'll try to get an interview for you folks at home.
We can get him up in the booth for sure.
Yeah, ask him some football questions, see where his knowledge is at. He knows his music better than we could, so we can't possibly interview him music-wise, but we can maybe ask him some questions about football.
Van LaRoche short punts this one away, almost blocked on the play, gets it a high kick away, caught by Embo at the 45-yard line, has a nice return, and New Brunswick's going to be set up with great field position here with 1:14 left.
Simon Buskey, wide receiver at Tantramar Regional High, coming close on the block. Does a good job of avoiding the punter, running in front of him with his hands out, hands low. That's how you want to do it. Doesn't get the block. It's all good. A good return for Team New Brunswick. 1:14, they get the ball in the 31. They're very happy with that exchange.
Absolutely. So still some time to increase their lead here. Rossiter and Beckley in the backfield.
Beckley haven't touched the ball twice today for a total of 23 yards. He's been electric.
Rossiter takes the snap, looks to throw, has a receiver open there, finds him in the flats, but goes off Embo's hands, incomplete.
2nd and 10. They're going to want to get some yards here to make the field goal attempt a little bit easier, or perhaps they'll just take a shot and try to get a first down. We'll see what Zach Colangelo, the head coach and offensive coordinator, chooses to do here.
Second and 10. Rossiter takes the snap. Pressure coming from the Manitoba defense. Gets that ball away. Trying to hit his receiver on the flag route. Just out of the outstretched hands there. As we'll see if New Brunswick sends on the field goal team or not. It would be a long kick for Santiago Vincent.
Good route combination, but a low percentage throw on 2nd and 10. It's going to force a long field goal here.
Yeah, it'll be around a 37-yarder. The wind, not a big factor here. There's a little breeze up here, but we can see the flags on the goalpost here not moving very much.
Now we've seen a field goal today of similar distance go through the uprights for Team New Brunswick. He has a 32-yard attempt. This one, Chris, is going to test his leg a bit more. We'll be looking at a 38-yard field goal attempt. We know Vincent has the leg.
There's an injured Manitoba defensive player down on the field currently.
Although, Chris, it looks like it's Cromley back there. Maybe they're thinking about punting for a single to take a 10-7 lead. Is that
good catch?
Potentially what they're going for here?
Yeah, you might be onto something. Just aim towards that short hash and try and get a single point as the Manitoba special teams coach calls in his special team unit here to make sure that they're prepared for this. Try and get it out if it does go in the end zone.
You and I, we practice this with our teams every year. Make sure that our teams know how to do the kickback. Now, with 1:04, you're probably not kicking it back.
No, probably not. You know, you're right. We do practice every year. Have you ever been a part of a kick out? I think you said you were once, right? Or no, you weren't. Your team was, but you weren't sent back there.
Yeah, a unfavorable 0-0 finish back in my high school days. This was in grade 12.
Why did they not send the kicker back there? Hey?
Well, our guy kicked it out.
That's true.
He didn't kick it out. He ran it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So smart play.
But oddly enough, I played defensive back in high school during that season, and I was just a corner, but I wasn't in the end zone for that play.
Were you the punter too?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. So the offense coming back on for the New Brunswick side here is they're going to maybe try and take a deep shot on 3rd and 10, a minute left. One timeout left for Manitoba. Rossiter takes it, looks to throw. He's just going to take a deep shot to his tall receiver, and that is nowhere close to his intended receiver, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Well, New Brunswick will be disappointed with that one. They get the ball on the 31-yard line, and they go incomplete, and give the ball back to Manitoba. This was their chance to extend their lead. Now they're just going to hope to be in the lead at halftime. 59 seconds to go. We've seen Vergara push the ball downfield. One timeout for Manitoba still. Leading the way on defense, O'Neill with 4 tackle, and Deneka on Manitoba's side. He's got 6 already.
So Manitoba will take over on the 30-yard line. Just under a minute left. They still have a timeout as Vergata has to escape the pressure. Track down from behind. That won't be a sack, but a short gain on the play by number 95, Elias Forbes.
A 6-foot-tall Harrison Trimble High School defensive lineman makes the play. A couple of white helmets from Harrison Trimble on this team.
Love seeing the different helmets here at tournaments like this.
Always do. A real celebration of our sport, as we said many times. Lots of rivals becoming teammates.
Time running here for Manitoba as they take 18 seconds off the play clock there, and he's tracked down from behind once again. Throws it away, falls incomplete as Manitoba's going to have to punt now.
And that time is Landon Dingy from Harrison Trimble. So Harrison Trimble, I'm going to assume, at the high school level has a pretty strong defensive line.
Yeah, a couple great athletes for sure showing up in this tournament.
We've said Dingy's name quite a bit in this tournament. We've mispronounced it a couple of times. I might have just done it again. I don't know.
Thought I heard a parent out there saying, "Good job, Dingy," but I might be completely wrong on that. You never know.
Dingy.
He'll have to make another play, and we'll pay closer attention.
Either way, we like what Landon's been able to do for this
right.
program.
Leroy Short kicks this one away. Short kick, and 25 seconds left on the clock here. New Brunswick could take a couple shots and try and get some points here before the half.
Both teams going 2-and-out and 2-and-out, and not the greatest of punts from Manitoba right now. So New Brunswick, again, gets a chance.
We know that roster has the big arm. They took 3 shots on the last series, all incomplete. No timeouts left for New Brunswick. Manitoba does have 1 remaining.
Now, being a no-huddle team like they are, and an up-tempo no-huddle team, it shouldn't matter too much because the clock does stop in Canadian football until it's blown back in.
There's the fake motion for the New Brunswick offense. Still 8 seconds left on the play clock.
Classic start to the drive for Team New Brunswick.
Rosser takes, throws left to Embo, makes the catch, gets only 5 on the play. 18 seconds left here. We'll see if they decide to take a shot or not.
I think they're going to line up as fast as they can here, try to get a first down. If they can snap this ball with 17 or 16 to go, they're a little bit slow getting lined up. We've seen them get lined up a bit quicker, but we'll see when it's blown in now.
Yep, time
That's
running.
going to cause some issues here for Team New Brunswick.
Yeah, as they're not set up right at all. We see Embo go across the formation now, still looking to the sideline. 8 seconds left. Snaps the ball and fakes. He's going to take a deep shot left side. Double coverage once again to Leo Foster. Incomplete. 1 second remains.
Yeah, and good thing they took a deep shot because they were going to have 1 player left anyways. I think they've been better all tournament long and getting lined up quickly. This time there was 18 seconds left in the clock, and they snapped it at about 8. So they took a while to get ready.
New Brunswick coach stepping on, offering a water bottle, but there's not a timeout here. So as we see some subs now being sent on, the time is whistled in. There's 10 seconds left. New Brunswick not lined up yet. They are just going to take a shot here as Rossiter looks confused to the sideline. 5 seconds on the clock.
Going to get a delay game penalty here for sure.
Yeah, they are not ready at all for this.
And there it is, 0s on the clock.
Yep. Lots of confusion on the field there for New Brunswick.
Yeah. On 3rd and 5, Chris, a delay game inside the 3-minute warning. Is this not a loss of down?
No. They can either take the yards or...
So why wouldn't Manitoba take a loss of down here and take over on possession?
I'm not sure. Maybe on 3rd down you can't turn it over.
Perhaps. Still have lots to learn, you know. Been coaching for a while, but I got to admit I don't know every rule yet or every application.
So they just turn, hand it off to Crowley, cuts back in, flag thrown, maybe a face mask here, so they're going to get up 15 yards.
And it sure looks like it, Chris. It looks like New Brunswick's going to get the ball on the 30-yard line. They'll have a chance at a 37-yard field goal with 0 on the clock. Unfortunate timing for a face mask penalty for Team Manitoba.
Yeah, we thought, New Brunswick was just trying to run that last play and get out here, and they are going to decline the penalties. There's actually a hold against New Brunswick.
Well, there you go.
Not a face mask. That brings us to the end of the first half. New Brunswick leading Manitoba 9-7. Welcome back to the second half of our second game here at the final day of the 2024 Football Canada Cup. Team New Brunswick leading Team Manitoba by a score of 9-7. New Brunswick set to receive the second half kickoff here. Rogan Vergata set to kick this one away for Manitoba. Vergata gets a good kick away this time. It goes over Embo's head, bounces into the end zone. He picks it up there, and he's going to choose to bring it out. And he's not going anywhere. Big hit on the play for Manitoba. That is number 8, Destiny Okadara.
I'm okay with Embo's decision there because it's unclear, right? Am I going to be giving up a safety if I take a knee? So he goes, okay, as fast as I can, let's just hurry up, get some yards. So smart, intelligent decision by the returner to just quickly make a decision and go. Like that a lot. Hey, Chris, I'm late on the mic because as the teams were coming out, I had a chance to quickly chat with one of Team Brunswick's coaches, Coach O'Neill. I said, Coach, what's the plan second half? What do we got to do? And we kind of both look at each other simultaneously, said, let's run the ball again.
Yeah, as they do start off by running the ball right down, first down, Asher Beckley with the carry, and that's another first down.
And to be clear, Crowley's been running for 5.7 yards per attempt when they hand them off the ball, and now they're going with a different running back here, totally fine. But the point we're trying to make is that they've ran the ball very well in the first half. Let's see them do that again a bit more.
That pushes the ball up to the 20-yard line, getting out of the shadow of their own end zone. Rossiter and Beckley in the backfield. They hand it off to Beckley again that time. Makes a cut, finds a hole there. Good job by that New Brunswick offensive line. And that is another first down.
Well, there you go. Back-to-back runs, get a first down. So Coach O'Neill will be happy on that one. And I think the whole coaching staff kind of knew, right? Let's go right back to it. It's been so good for us. There's nothing wrong with the pass game. It's just they've been so efficient on the ground.
Ball on the 31 now, yet 11-yard run there for Beckley. This time they take a jet sweep to Noah Crowley, but met right away by that Manitoba defense. Big hit on the play. That is Destiny Okadara is just lighting people up here in the second half.
Tell you what, lots of players showing late in this tournament, they still got energy. They're running hard, they're hitting hard, they're tackling well. It's good football out here at the U18 Canada Cup. 9-7, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. We've had a great first half.
Rossiter and Crowley in the backfield. 2 seconds on the play clock. Gets the snap away. Rossiter looks to throw. Throws into the flats to Crowley. That falls incomplete. Brings up third and 10, sorry.
Crowley will set himself up punting the ball. He's done a good job today punting the ball out of bounds or nearly out of bounds, trying to limit Manitoba's return. Manitoba's still going with 2 returners, even though all of New Brunswick's punts have been towards the sideline. Then again, you're just waiting for one punt that doesn't go out of bounds, and you feel good about your decision.
Crowley will kick this one away off the side of his foot, and that's going to be a shank, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's okay to say it, Chris. They're only going to get about 12, 13 yards on that punt, so not the best punt for Team New Brunswick. Manitoba takes over in New Brunswick territory. This is their chance to take their first lead today.
Yeah, good field position for this Manitoba offense.
They've been successful passing the ball. Vergata's been the bright spot, 115 yards passing today, 1 touchdown. He's got 11 completions already.
Yeah, and he's not in the game here on the second half to start. It's number 14, Grayson Crackle, in at quarterback. His first drive of the tournament, takes the snap, high snap, gets it, hands it off to number 25, brought down right away by a couple of Manitoba defenders.
And there's just no running on New Brunswick today. That's 7 carries now for 16, 17 yards. New Brunswick shutting the run today quite well.
Brian Lee with the carry. We'll see if they let Crackley throw the ball here.
And again, New Brunswick substituting players in and out based on the situation. So second and long, they like to get an extra DB out there,
Grayson
which
Crackle,
they do.
5'11" out of Winnipeg, in at quarterback here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Crackle takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to roll out to his right. He's going to keep it himself, cuts up, and he's brought down right away, and that's going to be a 3rd down.
Good job of the young quarterback breaking contain on that. He got the edge right away, got some positive yards for his team, and unfortunately, Manitoba's going to be forced here to perhaps punt the ball. It's 3rd and 5. They're doing their substitution, so the punt unit is on. I'm still waiting for those fakes, Chris. It is the last day of the tournament.
Yeah, we haven't seen any yet in between the first game. We're halfway through the second game, just over half now, I guess. And yeah, we'll see if the Manitoba punt team does one. They have done a punt fake in this tournament. They're the only team that's done it. And
New Brunswick lined up here in a base 4-3 defense, making sure nothing funky is happening.
They do punt it away, and Bo catches that at the 14-yard line, makes one cut, and then brought down right away by the punt cover team. And there's a late flag thrown.
I often rattle off some offensive stats, but let's go to the defense. It's Daneka with 7 tackles, leading the way for both teams. It's the Manitoba defender. On New Brunswick side, it's O'Neill. Owen O'Neill, also part of the coaching staff here. That's Scott O'Neill's son. Owen had a good, long U Sport career. Great athlete, hockey player as well, if I'm not mistaken.
So the call against Manitoba that pushes the ball all the way up to the 35-yard line now for Rossiter. Beckley in the backfield behind him. Rossiter takes, hands it off to Beckley, follows his fullback, but nowhere going that time. Gain of only 1.5 on the play. Okadara again adding to his tackle total. Rosser takes the snap, fakes it to Beckley, looks to throw, finds the receiver in the flats. That goes through his hands, incomplete on the play, bringing up 3rd down.
Offense is exchanging 2 and outs to start this second half.
Beautiful day here at Mosaic Stadium. Not as scorching hot. Players probably appreciating a bit of the cloud cover that we have here.
Yeah, players and officials. You know, officials doing 2 games per day, you get tired pretty quickly. As I say hello to my good friend Bill Wright, a Saskatchewan Refractor extraordinaire. Suited up for the green and white for 1 game early in his career.
Crowley with a decent punt there. Some room on that left side. Cuts in, but a good job by the cover team there for New Brunswick. Number 23 with the tackle. That's Santiago Vincent, the punter kicker himself, also a defensive back making the play.
Lots of athletes, they're doing multiple things in these tournaments, right? Maybe you play quarterback and DB. We saw that with BC. Lots of kicker punters also playing receiver or running back for their teams or defensive back. It's a testament to their athleticism. New Brunswick opting to come out in a 4-2 with some cover 2 shell, trying to defend the pass here.
Crackle still in at quarterback, turns, hands it off, tackled in the backfield though right away by that New Brunswick defense. Landon Dingy with the tackle. Second and long now coming up. This New Brunswick front seven playing very good. Offside for New Brunswick. They do throw the flag. Crackle looks to throw to his right. That's complete. 13. Number 13 with the reception. Number 13 with the reception. 14?
Manitoba giving New Brunswick a taste of their own medicine. You know, New Brunswick, a team who does a lot of fake cadences, right? Tries to get them to jump offside. Manitoba goes on two, I suppose, for lack of better terms, and gets New Brunswick there.
Yeah, Ben LaRose short with the reception there. However, offside the call. They'll take the 5 yards and repeat second down. So, Olivier, you just told me that we got confirmation at half that it's Dingy. I was not a part of that conversation.
I believe, yes, I believe. The problem is when I receive a text message and it says you got it right, it is Dingy.
Okay.
Right, I'm reading Dingy, or I think that's what I said last, but I think so.
Crackle looks to throw, escapes left, trying to find a receiver open, throws it. That's going to be intercepted by number 23 on the play. Nice pick by Santiago Vincent. That's his second play on this drive.
Yeah, we talked about him. He's got kicker duties, but he also is playing really well at the best defensive back position. That's a big turnover. It's the first one of the day.
So that's going to give New Brunswick the ball on the 48-yard line.
New Brunswick was started their first drive of the quarter with back-to-back runs for a first down. They since then went 2 and out. We'll see if they opt to keep it in the ground here or go back to the air.
Rosser takes it, looks to throw, trying to find Embo deep there. Goes back over the right, finds Leo Foster over the middle. Nice catch on the play, big gain.
Leo Foster is the author of the 53-yard touchdown earlier today. He gets his second reception. He's now up to 68 yards for the day. As Rossiter finds him in the void created by a zone defender, dropping deep into coverage.
And moves the ball all the way up to the 27-yard line. Rossiter and Beckley in the backfield. Rossiter takes a snap, turns, hands it to Beckley. Not much going inside there. Short gain on the play.
Keeps his feet going, ends up getting 4 on this one. It'll be 2nd and 6 in what is likely 3-down territory for Team New Brunswick.
Jesse Deneka with the tackle for Manitoba. Under 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Ball on the right hash. Roster takes the snap, fakes it to Beckley, looks quickly to right, finds Foster. Does a nice job avoiding a couple tackles, and that's going to move the chains for a first down. So 1st and 10, ball on the 12-yard line. Rossiter takes the snap, hands it to Crowley off the right side, but met in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss on the play. Good job by that Manitoba front 7.
Manitoba's D-line making plays here in this tournament at opportunistic times, forcing 2nd and long situations when it matters.
Rosser will take the snap, look to throw, looking left, finds some room up the middle. He's going to keep it himself, has a lead blocker, and gets brought down on the play. The tall 6'5" quarterback, short of the yards to gain, so they have a decision to make now.
3rd and 3 from the 6. Coach Colangelo has been going for it in these situations all tournament long. We'll see what he chooses to do here as I see 5 players onto the field, indicating a likely substitutions for a field goal attempt.
Yes, we do see Santiago Vincent come on to put some points on the board. He got the pick, and he's going to try and finish this drive off.
A field goal here would give New Brunswick a 6-point lead. Sorry, a 5-point lead.
Should be about a 15-yard attempt from the right hash for Vincent. Crowley, the holder. We've seen Manitoba run this fake here where they line up a corner on the right side, but this time they'll just line up regular. 1 second on the play clock. They do not get it off. No flags thrown as of yet, and the head ref is going to take it upon himself to throw the flag.
As Chris, I receive, and this is probably what we should have asked our fans earlier, but Coach Teed, out of a good high school coach, he's been involved in minor football, amateur football for years now in Brunswick, sends me a voice memo. He says it's Landon Dingy.
There we go. We finally have confirmation.
Confirmation. Now I'm 100% confident because I messed it up so many times. So,
well,
there's
you
the
know,
fun
we
we're
don't
having.
get the phonetical spelling here. I know that we've requested it. I know the Football Canada staff doing a great job to try and get us as many name spelling as possible. We did have one team send it to us. As the time count is going to push New Brunswick back.
Now, Chris, I'm notoriously bad with pronunciations. Never mind if it's somebody I know or not, or French or English. So for me, I'm just laughing about it, and you're used to hearing me mispronounce things all the time, which makes me a great color commentator.
That's right, yeah. Well, don't worry, you can throw me under the bus if I get it wrong. So. That's why first names are usually a little bit easier, as this is now a little bit of a tougher field goal. 19 yards, snap is down. Vincent kicks up and makes no difference as that increases the lead for New Brunswick here with 2.5 minutes left, 12-7 over Manitoba.
Santiago Vincent hitting his second field goal of the day, 12-7 indeed, with 2:25 to go in this third quarter. Both teams exchanging punches. New Brunswick a bit of momentum right now. It was Manitoba there in the second quarter. We have ourselves a good football game in our hands.
Yeah, very good football game. Still a one-score game as Manitoba takes over. We'll see if it is Vergata or Crackle back in at quarterback.
This Manitoba program, Chris, they came into this tournament ranked 8th. They won an important game against Nova Scotia on Wednesday, allows them to be in the 5th, 6th game. I think if they win today and finish 5th, they'll feel very good about where their program has gone. If they don't win today, they can still leave this tournament feeling good about progressing. I'll be honest, I think they've played better than we expected. They've shown some good things. As fortunately, my timing on the comment isn't very good on a loss of 10 yards here.
Yeah, big sack on the play by number 92, Will Warman, and that's going to push Manitoba back and make this 2nd and a mile.
But this Manitoba program has progressed, right? They've shown some good things. I thought they had a good tournament overall and a good showing today against New Brunswick. I know it's still early in the game. We still have 2 minutes to go before the end of this third quarter.
So 2nd and 20, time for a screen here for Manitoba offense. As New Brunswick sends one pressure, as it is a running back screen. High pass by Crackle there, falls harmlessly to the turf.
Well, you had called it, Chris. You had called it once again.
There's a 50-50 chance.
The unwritten rule that one must call the screen on 2nd and 20, at least 50%
You're an
of the
offensive
time.
coordinator. Have you?
Never.
No, never.
It's too obvious.
It's true. You didn't even have a screen
No,
installed.
I'll call a screen on 1st and 5 when nobody's
That's
expecting
right.
it.
So that forces
just kidding.
3rd and 20 now. Ball backed up to the 25-yard line as Ben LaRose Short is set to kick this away to Leo Foster.
To each their own, right, with our programs. And football is very cyclical. You'll see things that we haven't done in 10, 15 years, and then they become popular once again, right? Things change all the time. There's no better, no worse. You got to do what's right for your program.
Foster catches that at the 52-yard line, does a good job to catch it in the air. Lots of flags down, and he's still on his feet. Finally pushed out of bounds around the 27-yard line. Thrown out of bounds, no flag, but there are 2 flags thrown before, possibly a no yards.
Aaron Alder, defensive back from Tetromar High School, Tetromar Regional High, pardon me. Very physical with the Manitoba gunner. He might be culprit here of a holding penalty. This is my early guess.
as the officials will get together to discuss this one. Head official Hugo Dallaire set to call here. Holding against New Brunswick. Unnecessary roughness is called against Manitoba, so that's going to push the ball up 5 yards for New Brunswick from where they caught it, and they will start this drive on the 45-yard line.
Well, there you go. Maybe Aaron Alder was fine all along, just playing physical and drawing the penalty. As a crowd is yelling 506, 506, cheering on their New Brunswick athletes.
So we see Manitoba spinning back to have a 4-high look almost. Roster takes it. He will just turn and hand it off to Crowley, but nothing going. The defensive line doing a good job for Manitoba there, led by number 10, Jesse Daneka. Olivier, there's provinces now that have for years had one area code, and they kind of use that as their motto.
I was just thinking about this myself, and I was going to look back as I see Wilkie in the back here. New Brunswick still one area code, correct? 506? About to be two.
Now, yeah.
Saskatchewan has all their swag. It says 306 on it, 306 football all time, but Saskatchewan just adopted a second area code, so tougher now, I guess, as you grow in population.
Rossiter fakes, turns, hands it off. Big hit on the play by the Manitoba defensive back. That is Amias first.
It's the second time we see Amias first come out and make a big play and kind of rally his team with a bit of a flex afterwards. The young cornerback from Oak Park is having a great tournament. A great game today, that's for sure.
A great football school in Winnipeg. Home to many CFL players, CFL alumni.
That's right. That's right. Nick Dembski being one of them.
Dembski, Brady Oliveira, Andrew Harris. All seem to find their way home eventually to play for the Bombers.
There you go.
Very entertaining CFL game last night. As Crowley will punt this one away. That one's going to end up in the middle. It looks like it might have been touched there as it goes into the end zone. And they're going to have to be careful here. He does end up getting out, breaks a couple tackles, and now he has a ton of room here on the left side. He's got blockers in front of him, cuts back in, and is brought down at the 53-yard line.
What was inches away from being a safety and also just as importantly a turnover when New Brunswick would get possession again, taking a 7-point lead, actually results in a 55-yard punt return. And only Jack Jewett, the running back at Leo's High, who plays H-back, ends up kind of slowing the whole thing down and making a very important play on the punt on the cover team. That was wild.
Great job by McCoon Odenuga. You know, it looked like he had touched it, and he was going to get tackled for a safety, and then he ends up getting a return of about 65 yards after that. Maybe 60. So that brings us to the end of the third quarter. New Brunswick leading 12-7. We do see Rogan Vergata back on the field here for Manitoba. They are going to put him back in. And
if you're following on the stats, I think for some reason we didn't get Crackle's stats as a quarterback, but Vergata had a very good first half.
I had a pun all ready to go with Crackle. Was waiting for him for a big play, but that's okay. I'll save it if he gets a shot later.
Sure hope that he does. Crackle came in, did a pretty good job, I thought, in the third quarter. Vergata, obviously, their go-to man, has been playing very well, so good to see him back here in the fourth to end this game and tournament for Team Manitoba.
See time of possession, New Brunswick leading by about 2.5, 3 minutes. Olivia, your favorite stat?
Sarcastically, my favorite stat.
Although they are winning right now.
They are.
They're running the ball very well. Take this second to thank all of the volunteers here. We have, as you mentioned, 18 members of the Regina Riot have been volunteering throughout the tournament. The Regina Thunder, Regina Rams, Football Sask, Football Canada doing a great job here. Great tournament here in Regina. Final day at the 2024 Football Canada Cup as Manitoba will start this fourth quarter. Ball on the 53-yard line. Rogan Vergata back in. We see a pulling lineman. He's going to fake it. He's going to roll out. Good coverage by the New Brunswick defense, though, as Vergata's just going to keep it himself, and that is a good decision to get some yards.
Just out of the reach of Landon Dingy out of Harrison Trimble High. Still forces the pressure, gets him out of bounds. It's a good gain for Vergata. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, New Brunswick did a good job covering that rollout pass. They've been rolling their coverage on the back end very well. Vergata uses his speed there to get a good gain of 7 on the play. Forces a 2nd and 3 now. Ball will be on the right hash. Vergata and First in the backfield. New Brunswick showing +1 pressure. They do back off, hands it off to First, but that is going to be enough for a first down. A good job by that Manitoba O-line. John O'Neill with the tackle. Crowd getting into it here at Mosaic. Manitoba fans given the first down call. Moves the ball up to the 43-yard line. First motions out. Vergata takes it. Jet sweep. Some room on the right side. Good job by his lead blockers, but cuts back in. And a good job by the corner there, making the tackle for New Brunswick. That's number 7, Raymond Lomba.
Again, out of Harrison Trimble High School, we've got lots of white helmets making plays here on this defense. I'll tell you, Manitoba is set up in a 4-by-1 look, 4 to the field, 1 in the boundary. I thought, okay, so deep shot coming in the boundary, but no, they motion everyone across, get a numbers advantage on the boundary, and good setup on that play for a gain of 5.
So 2nd and 5, right hash, Vergata and First in the backfield. Vergata takes a snap, hands it off to First. Big room on the left side that time, splits the defenders and gets a big first down. It's Brian Lee with the carry. Apologies.
Brian Lee's 5th carry today. He's now taking the lead for Manitoba in the yardage on the ground. Manitoba now on the 22-yard line in field goal range already.
Sorry,
but
it
down.
was First. I got to stop doubting our spotter up here and not listening to the PA announcers. Spotter was exactly right with the ball carrier there. It was First. Once again, it is First again here with the carry. Short gain on the play.
Will Warman out of Quispamsis, New Brunswick. The 6'5" D lineman makes the stop. Manitoba now in field goal range, but that's not what they want. They're down 5. They got to punch it in here and try to get 7.
Yeah, this is about the time where they got to start going for it. They still have 2 timeouts here. 9 minutes left in the game, though. Lots of time. We've seen Vergata have an okay leg on field goals, but he is going to want more here on 2nd down. Motions out First, and there's a time count called against Manitoba.
That's a big penalty because 2nd and 8 is very different than 2nd and 13. Now it's, unless you already know you want to go for it on 3rd down, it makes things much difficult for Manitoba. Just reduces the play caller's ability, right? So now there's less available to you when you're looking at your call sheet going, wow, what do we like at a situation? New Brunswick will have a decision to make. Will they play it soft and make it easy for Manitoba to get 4 or 5 yards and force a 3rd? Or are they thinking that Manitoba's going for it regardless? So they just keep kind of a base look. We'll see what they choose to do.
So 2nd and 13 now after the time count. Vergata is going to be emptying the gun. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw back this time to his own lineman, and the New Brunswick defensive lineman doesn't fall for it, but a good job by the O-lineman breaking tackles, and there's the flag thrown.
So, Chris, in the way Manitoba was set up with the H-back on the right there, I motioned with my hand already, roll out, and I think New Brunswick knew that as well. So great play design, making it look like a rollout, and then throw it back to number 68 on the reception. That's Landon Street, defensive lineman from Grand Park, Winnipeg. Now, that was a forward pass, wasn't it, Chris?
It sure looked close from up here.
So that should be an illegal touch by the offensive lineman. I don't think this play is gonna stand.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him report eligible before that snap, but we'll see here.
I like the play design. I think what didn't happen and what was supposed to happen is that O-lineman needed to be behind the quarterback for a lateral, but this was from my point of view, it was a forward pass. I think we'll see a penalty here on Manitoba. They'll go from 2nd and 13 to 2nd and 23.
Yeah, although it looked like there was a penalty thrown in the area of holding as well from the deep official. And there's a flag tossed, as they're still discussing this one, though.
I'm going to take a look at the replay here. Some cheating going back on the YouTube stream.
So holding called against Manitoba. Couldn't quite hear him, but I believe it was, I don't know if they called the illegal forward pass or not. Either way, it is a call against Manitoba, and that's going to push them back.
You know, looking at the replay, Chris, it's very close to being a lateral. So it's really a 50-50 judgment call, you know, because they're not going to go to the screen and use technology to figure out was that pass a lateral or not. But I thought it was an illegal receiver. I thought the O-lineman 68 couldn't catch the ball. I think coaches are getting some clarity here on what the call is, but it's going to be against Manitoba one way or another.
So it sounds like they did call holding and an ineligible receiver on the play, so that pushes Manitoba all the way back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, regardless, they'll only accept one of the two penalties, right? So it's a 10-yard penalty. So even if that receiver was eligible, we'd be in the exact same spot that we are right now. So 2nd and 23 for Team Manitoba.
So Vergata in the gun on 2nd and Balgoni. Throws right. That goes through the receiver's hands and incomplete.
Great call there, Chris, and maybe some friends at home understood what you just said. Either way, it is 3rd and 23, likely looking at a punt situation. Chris using one of the famous calls that we hear here at Mosaic Stadium. So in Saskatchewan, when the Riders play and it's 2nd and extra long, quite often the announcer will say it's 2nd and.
A random town, or in this case, Balgoni, was the one used, although it's very close compared to most towns in Saskatchewan to Regina, only 15 minutes away, if that.
But I appreciate the creativity there, Chris.
Thank you.
Chapeau to the regular announcer here at Mosaic Stadium.
So 3rd and 23 here as Ben LaRose Short will kick this one away. High kick, pressure in his face. This one's going to land only at the 20-yard line. Big bounce, not blown dead as the kicker went to get that one. We'll see here. He falls on it. Now, as you shake your head, Olivier.
Because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, contrary to the Canadian Football League, the professional league,
correct.
You do not get a first down in amateur football if you recover a punt that wasn't past the first down marker. So, to be clear and kind of backtrack, in Canadian football, let's say it's 3rd and 20. You can do a 4-yard punt and recover it. It'd be a first down for your team. In amateur football, if you recover a punt, it needs to be past the first down sticks for it to be a first down.
Which I think is exactly the way the rule should be.
I agree.
The CFL needs to change that.
The Canadian football rules for amateur football are on point. The ones with professional league,
That's just, if it's 2nd and 40 and you kick it a yard, I really don't think you should be rewarded for that.
No, me neither. Especially because teams are doing it now on 2nd and very, very
Montreal
long.
seems to be the only one that uses it, though. Credit to
Credit to them.
Moss.
If there's a rule you can take advantage of and
yeah.
stay within the rules of the game and get an advantage, take it.
Now they're discussing here, potentially there was another Manitoba defender in that 5-yard halo when Ben LaRose touched it.
And the last thing here that might be in play is that I don't know if this rule exists in Canadian football. Is there a returner interference call?
It's a good question. I don't know if it's the onside player.
Can the onside player go and just hit the returner and not let him catch the ball, which is what kind of happened on this situation? Whether on purpose or not, it's another question. But I feel like the returner wasn't able to even get close to the ball because, he got contacted.
Yeah, there was a bit of a short kick high in the air, bounced on the 20-yard line, high up in the air, and then Ben LaRose came as the officials are all together here discussing this one.
Well, we know for sure that New Brunswick will retain possession. The question is, how many penalty yards are going to be added? Will it be 0? Will it be 10? Will it be 15? I'm not sure. 8:04 to go. New Brunswick up by 5. Close contest, a good game so far.
Yeah, a good game so far. I was just going to say, as we look ahead briefly to the next game, we'll have Team Alberta facing against Team Saskatchewan for the bronze medal.
Take a peek to our right and a peek to our left. We have clear coaches booth up here, so we can see, to our right are some of our Friends Football Canada or the tournament organizers, and then one more we can see the Manitoba coaching staff, and then to our left it's a similar story. 2 booths over we can see the coaches from Team New Brunswick, and I was just curious to see if one was happy or one wasn't. No indication, but Team New Brunswick offense runs onto the field here. I think at a minimum it's New Brunswick's ball.
Yeah, no surprise there, as they will say no flag on anyone on the play.
Yeah, no surprises either. I don't think Manitoba is expecting to get the ball there. If they did recover it, it's on the 22-yard line, but it's a turnover on downs. They need to get to the 12-yard line.
Yeah. Good effort by Ben LaRose to go
Absolutely.
And get his own punt, just not quite deep enough.
Yeah.
So it sets up New Brunswick on the 22-yard line, leading by 5. 8 minutes left here. 2 timeouts left for both teams. Right hash. They've had success running the ball today. Beckley in the backfield with Rossiter. Turns, hands it off to Beckley. Stretch to the left, cuts in there, and gain of 5 on the play.
Good cut, good run by the young running back. They've gone to Crowley 13 times together today. They went to Beckley 8 times now. Both running backs getting a few catches, a few touches on the ground. Both having good days, averaging roughly 5 yards a carry each. Beckley getting a little bit more yards in the air. Crowley getting a little few more yards on the ground, pardon me. Good 1-2 punch for Team New Brunswick.
Roster, Beckley, and Crowley in the backfield. We see Crowley motion out, runs the wheel route. They throw to Leo Foster low. Good catch at his feet. Breaks the tackle there, but that is going to be a first down, New Brunswick.
That's the green helmet from Bernice McNunn in Moncton. Leo Foster, his 4th catch of the day. He's approaching the 100-yard mark.
Yeah, and I believe he had that long touchdown to start the game for New Brunswick, their first score of the game. First and 10, ball on the 34-yard line, left hash. Roster lines up, 2 to his left, 2 to his right. Crowley in the backfield, takes it, hands it off to Crowley, makes a nice cut. And a good job by that New Brunswick offensive line, paving the way for the running backs.
Yeah, and Crowley gets 9.5 there. He's going to set up New Brunswick on a 2nd and short, the coordinator's dream. You call anything you want, from quarterback sneak to play action deep shot to a simple run. See what they chose to do here on 2nd and short.
As the 5:06 chant gets started here by the New Brunswick fans. We see a bunch of subs coming on late here for New Brunswick. And New Brunswick is going to burn a timeout. They wanted to go. You see the head coach upset they're having to use a timeout as the offense was not ready for the play call there.
Yeah, it sounds like they called for the jumbo or the heavy or the short yardage package a bit late.
Just a reminder for fans to stay in your seats at the game's conclusion for the presentation of the offense.
Coach Colangelo a little bit animated on the sidelines. It's an important game for him. Came in ranked 5th. He's got a chance to secure that 5th position again, a very respectful position for New Brunswick. So high stakes in these games for these coaches. They care a lot about their athletes, about these programs. Put a lot of energy into this. Lots of sleepless nights as well. Getting your film at 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then breaking it down. If you have a practice at 9 a.m., if that's your practice slot, that means you got to do all your work before that. So things can be challenging at times for these coaches.
That's right. Tournament life, not an easy one at times, but one that is very fulfilling.
Tournament life being very taxing on the body and on the mind of coaches, that's for sure.
Noah Crowley, the jumbo quarterback here, lines up under center as the New Brunswick O-line will just power forward, and that will be a first down.
Having a quick chat, I was mentioning these white helmets on defense. These are the Harrison Trimble players. I was having a quick chat with Coach Mark Teed. 27 years coaching the Harrison Trimble High School program now. 27 years. They have 6 players on this roster. It's the most they've ever had on a high-performance team. Congratulations to you, Coach Teed, and all the hardworking players and staff at Harrison Trimble High School. It's good to see.
Roster back in the game now at quarterback. 1st and 10. They'll take the snap. He'll turn. Hand it off to Crowley this time at his running back position. Met right away, though. Gain of only a few on the play.
You get 3 at most here, so 2nd and 7 coming up for New Brunswick. Crowley now 12 carries for 55 yards. New Brunswick approaching 100 yards on the ground. They got 126 in the air.
Roster and Crowley once again in the backfield for this 2nd down. Roster takes it, hands it off to Crowley. Nice cut, a little bit of a seam there. And he fumbles the ball, and that's going to be picked up by Manitoba. A big turnover here with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the game.
And Coach Colangelo will be getting after the officials here, thinking his player was down. Very close call there on the fumble.
Sam Opanubi with the fumble recovery as we'll watch the replay here.
It's a good initial cut by Cromley, getting to space, trying to make something happen.
It's close. It's close.
No, I think the officials got that right. That's a turnover. Manitoba will take over. It is close. It's always close. But first down, Manitoba.
Yeah, so big turnover there by the Manitoba defense. 4 minutes left here in the game. Rogan Vergata back into quarterback. A little bit of a pump. Escapes there through the B gap. Sheds one tackle and is brought out of bounds there. And they're going to have to be careful about not getting a flag there. They do not get one.
I think Elias Forbes there, the defensive lineman from Harrison Trimble, was a little bit late getting to Vergata out of bounds, but did a good job keeping him up.
Yeah, we couldn't see it on the tent here. We'll see on the replay.
Yeah, I think he did what he could to make sure Vergata stayed up. Otherwise, he would have been in serious trouble there for a penalty.
Can't quite see it there. The Regina Flag Youth League and the AFFL, Adult Flag Football League here in Regina. The tent keeping these players cool.
The tents were much needed this week.
Oh, yeah.
We've had temperatures. Here in Regina, we reached the minus 40 a couple days a year. We also reached the plus 40 a couple days a year. And this week was
Every
a
day.
hot one.
Yeah, almost. So 2nd and 7 here. 2 timeouts for Manitoba. Vergata takes a snap. He'll turn. He'll hand it off to first. That time met right away at the line of scrimmage, but keeps his feet moving. Ends up getting a few yards here, and now it's decision time for head coach
Landon
Stephen
Dingy
Fettis.
was in position there to limit this to a gain of 1 or 2, but the Manitoba running back finds a way to get all the way to 4 yards before being stopped with forward progress. It's going to be 3rd and 3. I think Manitoba's going for it, Chris.
Yeah, they are. They're going to keep the offense on here. We'll see if they keep it on the ground. This New Brunswick front 7 has done a good job. Vergata has played a good game at quarterback. They're not afraid to throw it. He lines up with 3 to his right on the boundary, 2 to his left. Motion for that New Brunswick D-line. Vergata gets it away. He has a receiver wide open. That's complete, and that's going to be a first down to Makun Odunuga.
O'Neill and Jack Button there on the tackle. As the Manitoba fans come to life here, excited with their team's first down.
Yeah, that is the 3-minute warning now. It's going to be an exciting finish to this game.
Well, we got coaches on our right that are on their feet calling the game. I'm on my feet now as well, trying to get as best as possible view and excited by the action. It's, again, a 5-point game. The team trailing by 5 has the ball, driving. 3 minutes on the dot remains.
Livy, do you expect Manitoba to keep this one in the air? That's where they've been having success. Vergata's done a great job finding his receivers open. This Manitoba offensive line giving him time to throw as well.
I mean, statistically speaking, they're rushing below 4 yards a carry and they're passing above 5.5 yards per attempt. So yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. And Vergata can use his legs too, right? He's got the ability, even on a pass play, to sometimes even make something happen on the ground. So maybe there's nothing open, but he still manages to get 3 or 4 yards and keep it moving. It is 3 down territory, Chris. So I guess the other part of the conversation is, are you okay with just running the ball 4 yards a carry if you have 3 downs to play with? And the answer should be yes to that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they have First in the backfield right now. He's had some nice runs in this game. Like you said, it is 3 down territories. The time is whistled in now. Under 3 minutes left in this game. Quads to the field. Vergata takes it. He'll hand it off to First left side. Lots of room. He's going to get a good 8 yards on the play.
That's a good run. It's a good formation design. When you go quads to the field, you force the defense to kind of show their cards a bit. Are they going to go ahead and bring 4 players and if they go halfback over? If that's the case, in the boundary, you've got a one-on-one. There's a bit of a void there. You can throw the ball on a quick slant, or if you want to run the ball to the boundary, you kind of have a lot of green space to work with.
Yeah, and a good run there by First. They line up with quads again. Maybe a very similar play call coming up here. Vergata and First in the backfield. Takes a snap, high snap, gets it down. First cuts inside, cuts outside, makes a man miss, and that's another first down, Manitoba.
Yeah, and it's back-to-back similar play designs, if not the exact same. They're going 4-by-1, but they run the ball towards the one side because New Brunswick is covering the 4. Again, it's a pick-your-poison type of thing. If New Brunswick doesn't want to cover all 4 receivers, then Manitoba can go with the quick game, 4 against 3, and try to find some holes into the coverage. But it's 1st and 10 for now as they don't come out in 4-by-1 again.
Not this time, yeah. We saw New Brunswick send a middle linebacker blitz there inside the wrong side, though, as they go boundary again. That time the snap is high. First catches that off the tip, and he does a good job just to retain possession, ends up getting back to the line of scrimmage.
New Brunswick sending 2 blitzers there and a good timing on a bad snap as well. So 2nd and 10 coming up, again in 3 down territory for Team Manitoba. They will not kick a field goal in this situation, not at all. There's 2:18 to go, down 5.
Manitoba has shown that they can throw the ball. They've had success today.
As both coaching staffs are standing up in their booth.
2nd and 10, ball on the 22-yard line. Vergata takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to scramble right, being chased from behind. He has a receiver open, and he finds him, but it goes off the receiver's hands, incomplete.
Good pressure. Aaron Alder, defensive back from Tachimara Regional High, forcing Vergata to get rid of it. He did throw a good ball towards the sideline. Manitoba receiver wishes he could have hung on to that one.
Forces a 3rd and 10 now. Still lots of time left. However, Manitoba and New Brunswick with 2 timeouts. Under 2 minutes now.
3rd and 10. If they don't get it here, it's not game over, but it becomes very difficult for Manitoba.
Vergata in the gun, trips right. First motions forward. He's just going to pass protect this time. Roll out to the right. Vergata sits in the pocket, throws over the middle. That is dropped on the play, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
1:48 to go. Manitoba has 2 timeouts. This game is not over yet. I don't mind the play design. Kind of looked like a rollout, right? They set up the way they always do, but he threw the backside post, which sometimes can be very good, right? If the free safety kind of flows early, against the rollout look, which a lot of safeties do, right? Especially when teams announce it. The way Manitoba was lined up with empty formation, it looked like it was going to be a rollout. Nice play design, just couldn't come down with the catch.
Yeah, so now 1st and 10, New Brunswick, ball on the 22, minute 48 left. Manitoba, 2 timeouts. Manitoba has had trouble stopping the run in this game, as it is Crowley in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. That time, no trouble stopping the run for a loss. We'll see here if they use their timeout or if they wait and save it. Well, they injured player, so they won't have to use a timeout.
Yeah, Crowley's down there on the field as Jillian Gilmore runs on quickly. Minute 45 as we hear Team New Brunswick defensive coordinator Jordan Grant challenging his defense, reminding them there's a minute 45 left in this entire tournament. Some of these players are going to age out as their last chance to play for their province, represent their province. Coach is getting them fired up because they will be needed. again, unless Team New Brunswick finds a way to march down the field and knee down the clock. But it is 2nd and 10 right now. Chris, it's been a great game. Statistically speaking, 232 yards for New Brunswick, 207 yards for Manitoba, very evenly matched. We saw New Brunswick early momentum, then we saw Manitoba kind of flip it all again. New Brunswick took it back in the third. Now in this fourth quarter, they've been exchanging punches, but no one's been able to kind of get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, one of the games of the tournament by far, as it is their star running back, Noah Crowley, down. He's also their punter, which is something to keep in mind here. Now,
does New Brunswick give up 2 in this situation? Probably not, making it 12-9.
Not at the field position here. Manitoba doesn't. Vergata, a great quarterback, an okay kicker, much better quarterback than he is a kicker. So, going to be a very interesting finish here.
It'd be interesting for New Brunswick to run in the back and kill some time, give 2, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's almost a scenario for it, but it isn't.
So, Rossiter turns, finds Beckley in the flat, brought down right away. So here we go. We have 3rd down, and there's the play call you were waiting for, Olivier, although it didn't work as well.
They did it out of a 2 running back situation instead of a 1 H-back situation. But, yes, there's that fake inside zone with the kick-out player getting the ball in the flats. Didn't get them enough yards. So 3rd and 7, punter is not available.
Yeah, we'll see who they have punt this one away.
Looks like
it is going to be Santiago Vincent, their field goal kicker, so I'm sure he has some experience punting as well.
We're about to find out.
Still 1:38 left in the game here. Manitoba has not used any of their timeouts.
Manitoba going with 2 returner sets. I don't think they're going to send tremendous pressure. They also don't look like they're blitzing by any means. They're playing this very safe here on the punt return unit, clearly trying to set up a return. Fans are yelling block it, but I'm not sure that's Manitoba's play call.
New Brunswick will let this run down to 2 seconds. They snap it away. Vincent gets a punt away there. That's going to be bouncing around the 50-yard line. Picked up off the bounce. That is Oganuga. Gets a decent return. Makes some people miss, so they're going to have good field position here for this drive.
Yeah, returner gets about 12 or 13 yards on the return. Manitoba will take over on the 46-yard line. 45-yard line, pardon me.
And they did not use their timeouts at all on that drive.
Right, so time not really a factor for Manitoba unless they go 2 and out, and clearly a 2 and out I think would become a 3rd down scenario. Not necessarily, actually. Again, Canadian football, the clock stops a lot more.
So Vergata in the gun as the crowd gets loud here at Mosaic. Ball at the 45-yard line. They're going to do a roll to the right, quick throw, finds a receiver there, short, Ben LaRose short, as it did not mean to do that on purpose. At his feet, falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. New Brunswick lined up in a 4-1, very atypical. But again, Manitoba going empty. I think everybody knows it's passing situations, so they've got extra DBs on the field. The lone linebacker, number 31 for New Brunswick, that's Logan Smith.
Coach Colangelo trying to get his team to make noise on the sideline here. As Vergata will take the snap, he's going to look to throw, looking over the middle, has time in the pocket, O-line giving him lots of time, scrambles left, gets the ball away, has a receiver behind him, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. Threw it in bounds, gave him a chance. It's now 3rd and 10.
Yeah, 3rd and 10 coming up here for Team Manitoba. Yeah, that player was out of bounds, unless I completely missed that on my end as you look at the replay. Oh, yeah.
Way out of bounds.
Yeah, way out of bounds.
Yeah. They're calling the catch.
My goodness. The fans are going to be angry because on the Maxtra, on this massive video board, we just saw that the Manitoba receiver had 2 feet out of bounds when he caught the ball. That is tough. The fans are booing here at Mosaic Stadium.
So after that called complete catch, 57 seconds left, time is stopped as the receiver was out of bounds after the catch. Hands it off to first. He'll be tackled right away. They've got to be careful there not to get an extra penalty. And there it is.
Oh, my goodness.
New Brunswick takes a 15-yard penalty. They kept him up. I'm surprised to see the flags. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
Both flags went, though.
And New Brunswick staff yelling for a holding call before all that happened. New Brunswick losing control here. Unfortunate on a missed call, and now they're going to get penalized with a 15-yarder. It's going to be first down Manitoba on the 10-yard line in what should have been a 3rd and 10 on Manitoba's own 40.
Yeah, big change of events here.
And in all fairness, New Brunswick player did come in a bit late on that one. But in this situation, unfortunately for New Brunswick,
yeah, so that
they're
is
getting the
gonna
short
move
end of
all
the
up.
stick here.
Yeah, first down Manitoba, 52 seconds left. So, 20-second play clock whistled in. 52 seconds remain. Ball moved up to the 10-yard line after that unnecessary roughness call. Vergata and the offense sprints up to the line. They were super far back after that penalty. 5 seconds on the play clock. Motions his receivers. Vergata takes the snap. He's going to run it himself up the middle. Finds a bit of a hole. Breaks the tackle. Gets all the way down to the 3-yard line.
As New Brunswick consider taking a timeout here at 45 seconds to go, they're going to want to get the ball back because the time is not going to be a factor for Manitoba. The clock is being whistled in. The ball's been spotted on the 2-yard line.
You trust your defense here. You got to try and make a stop. They're going to let this play clock run. It's tough either way. New Brunswick has 1 timeout left. They're not going to use it as they line up with 12 on the line of scrimmage. Jumbo formation for Manitoba. Takes the snap, turns, hands it off on the jet there. Pressure in the backfield. He's tackled short of the goal line. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Well, Chris, it all comes down to this. 19 seconds on the play clock, or whether if it said 0 on the clocks right now. There is 1 play remaining for this Manitoba offense. If they score, they most likely win this game, finish 5th. If they don't, Team New Brunswick walks away with a 5th place at this Canada Cup.
Yeah, New Brunswick or Manitoba's going to call a timeout here. They're going to let it run down to a 2nd as the coach looks to the Rogan Vergata. And there is the timeout as the players were freaking out on the field, worried that they were going to run out of time there. But
trust your coaching staff; they've got this covered.
Yeah, good job by the Manitoba head coach there.
As I see the football New Brunswick coaches with their headsets in the booth, kind of, just standing there, gasping for air, kind of going, there's not much I can do from here right now, and just trust that the boys are going to play hard on this 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Ball on the 1-yard line. 1 second left. 5-point game. Manitoba with a controversial completed catch. The next play, there's a 15-yard unnecessary roughness, and that is how we ended up in this situation.
Everybody in New Brunswick's yelling, "Ball don't lie" right now.
I was going to save it just in case there
is.
Stop it. Now I can't.
You can still use it, Chris, because they can stop the audio for the highlight tape and just use your voice for the very end here.
So this New Brunswick front 7 will get down. They have to make sure they stay on side. They got to stay behind the white line on the goal line. It's an easy marker for them as Manitoba will line up in the jumbo package. Rogan Vergata under the center. Early movement. No, and there's the flag. That's going to push it back. It's now going to be 3rd and
6.
Yeah.
3rd and 6 with 0s on the play clock.
There's trouble on the snap, too. New Brunswick almost wishing that they got that off, but Manitoba's going to get another chance, and we'll see here if they decide to use a timeout to talk about this play once again.
Let's recap. Manitoba had the ball on the 2-yard line. They did not go with a quarterback sneak. They went fake quarterback sneak jet. They got 1 yard out of it. Then they line up for the sneak, but they get a procedure penalty. 3rd and 6. Let me rephrase this. Game
3rd and goal.
And 6.
That's right. 0's on the clock. New Brunswick now in a chance where they can maybe send some pressure. Vergata has shown the ability to escape and find some receivers in the flats here. This will be the ball game pending any penalties. Vergata with 3 to his left, 2 to his right. First, motions up. Vergata's going to roll, look to throw over the middle, has a receiver, and that is incomplete. New Brunswick is going to win this one, and the ball don't lie, Olivier. As you mentioned a few seconds ago, a big win for this New Brunswick team, standing on the goal line for the finish.
Congratulations, Team New Brunswick, finishing 5th in this tournament. It's an outstanding finish for them, and Team Manitoba in 6th can be very proud of what they've accomplished this tournament. They moved up from 8th all the way to 6th. I thought it was one of the best team Manitoba teams we've seen in a couple of years. And honestly, as we saw, came down to the very, very end of the game where they almost walked away with the victory today. I hope both teams can feel good about their tournaments. It's a great finish for both provinces.
Absolutely exciting finish. One of the best finishes that we've had in this tournament. We will be back shortly as we will have Team Saskatchewan take on Team Alberta.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join us in congratulating both teams on an outstanding performance, a great game, and a fantastic job. If we could now draw your attention to midfield, we will commence with the presentations of the most valuable offensive and defensive player awards to both teams. These are chosen by the U18 Football Canada Cup Selection Committee. The winner of the most valuable defensive player of the game award for Team Manitoba from Winnipeg, representing St. Paul's, number 27, Sam Openubi. And the winner of the most valuable offensive player of the game for Team Manitoba from Winnipeg, representing Oak Park, number 72, Nathan Ash. And the winner of the most valuable defensive player of the game award for Team New Brunswick, representing Moncton and Harrison Trimble High School, number 23, Santiago Vicente. And the winner of the most valuable offensive player of the game for Team New Brunswick from Moncton, representing Bernice McNaughton High, number 11, Leo Foster. Give it up one more time for both teams. So with the result of this game, that means Manitoba claims 6th place, while Team Brunswick will claim 5th in this year's Canada Cup. Thank you all so much for your attendance, and just a reminder, coming up next is the bronze medal game between Alberta and Saskatchewan.
I feel the rain.